The story of Kevin De Bruyne's life and career is probably one of the most emotional stories. Therefore, the fact that he managed to overcome all difficulties and eventually become one of the best footballers of our time makes him deserve even more respect. From the very beginning, his destiny was full of difficulties. He was abandoned by his foster family and almost expelled from the academy, even though he was destined to become a great footballer. His girlfriend cheated on him with one of his teammates, leading to serious psychological disorder. As a result, the media considered him a failure, but he channeled his anger in the right direction, which helped him reach the top. Even then, fate continued to bring him tragedy after tragedy. Such is the incredible story of old Kevin. Even as a child, he would often break pots in kindergarten, which is why his parents made him play with only his weaker foot. The time came to play in a team. It's time to join a team. It turns out to be a small local club where he takes his first steps in his career. But at some point he directly told the coach that in Ghent they train better, and he left the team. Things didn't go particularly well there. Nevertheless, over time, rumors about his huge talent spread everywhere. Therefore, Ghent, knowing the guy was not happy, convinced him that he should cross the whole country to play for them. It was at this moment that Kevin experienced his first difficulties. Instead of living in a dormitory with other guys, he was placed with a foster family. And so Kevin, along with two of his teammates, moved to this new family. Despite all the difficulties, Kevin felt safe in the new family. He was no longer lonely, and this helped him adapt to the new conditions. A year passed, and Kevin realized that everything was going well. He was doing well in school, played football excellently, didn't get into fights, and had no problems. When he said goodbye to the foster family before the summer holidays, they waved back at him and promised to meet again next year. As soon as he returned to his hometown, he was met with a sad look. "Mother." She looked at him and said the words that, according to him, changed his entire future. Like that. The foster family called and said they don't want you there. It's all about who you are. They said you're too quiet and they can't communicate with you. You're just too difficult. These words deeply hurt Kevin, because no one had ever told him anything like that before. Similar, when his mother finished telling him what happened, he grabbed a football from the floor, ran to the backyard, and kicked it for several hours against the fence. In his head, the words echoed, "It's all about who you are." What worried him was not that the people considered his family abandoned him. What troubled him was that social workers contacted the club, and now the problem was that he would be sent to another foster family. But this new home was completely different. It was created for troubled children like him. When the pain finally subsided, he relaxed and told himself that everything would be fine. "In 2 months I will be on the first team, no matter what. I will not come home a failure, regardless of the circumstances." And although he had already played several matches for Team B, in his own words, he was nobody. That same year, he joined Genk, and, quote, "I had so much desire and strength. It was just madness. I clearly remember that moment. Everything changed. We played on Friday evening. I started on the bench. When I came onto the field in the second half, I just went crazy. I scored 5 goals in one half. It was incredible." Kevin was immediately transferred to the main team. The following years became special. There was an incredible championship race, and soon he was able to debut for the national team. At 19 years old, he is already the best player on the team. It's funny that his mother was born in Burundi, in Africa, so technically he could play for that national team. However, despite his success, one shouldn't think that Kevin has completely changed. His career has been full of unexpected. At 19 years old, he decided to openly confront a teammate, claiming that he wasn't training hard enough. In 2012, he was so frustrated by the team's failures that at the post-match press conference he stated, "I am ashamed of my teammates, and I suggest those who don't want to play simply leave." As a result, it was Kevin who transferred to Chelsea, where his performances made such an impression on the management that they planned to make him a replacement for Frank Lampard. But that is a matter for future days. For now, he will be loaned out. Werder. In the Bundesliga, he quickly gained the status of one of the brightest and most promising talents in the world. While other players shone with their outstanding skills, Kevin stood out for his simplicity, which made him even more memorable. After all, as Cruyff once said, "Football is simple, but playing it is the most difficult thing in the world." Despite Bremen fighting for survival, Kevin scored 10 goals and provided 9 assists. As a result, he was awarded as the best young player. Now it was time to focus on achieving success in the Premier League. However, that season, Kevin found it difficult to concentrate on his game because during this time his girlfriend cheated on him with Thibaut Courtois. She didn't even have to hide the act. She confirmed the entire scandal to the press and did not hesitate to claim that in one night, Thibaut gave her more than Kevin did in 3 years of their relationship, although most likely she would have said anything, having done it out of revenge. His form was not at its peak when it was particularly important for him to show his best result. Mourinho did not see the talent in him, and Kevin was sold already within half a year. During his time playing for Chelsea, he made only 1 assist and scored no goals. His next destination was Wolfsburg, which was returning to Bundesliga. As soon as the next season started, Kevin fully utilized the playing time given to him and demonstrated amazing game. He scored 16 goals, including 2 against Bayern. No one had managed to defeat the Munich team in the last year. Kevin also made 27 assists, 21 of which were in the championship, which at that time was a record. The Bundesliga. His achievements allowed the club to win the cup and secure second place, losing only to the same Bayern. Besides that, Kevin received the award for the league's best player. Interestingly, this success came after his heart was broken. By the way, in the same year, he met his future wife. Amusingly, after years of media scrutiny, Kevin became so insecure that instead of him, his friend had to send messages to get to know her. Now Kevin states that betrayal changed his life, and without it, he would never have been able to overcome with dignity, overcoming obstacles. By the end of the year, they were expecting their first child, but unfortunately, one morning his wife woke up and found she was bleeding. At that moment, Kevin felt his helplessness in the hospital. He realized that there is something more important in life than football. And although everything ended well, this moment changed his life forever. Since then, he kept playing because he was passionate about the game. A year later, he transfers to Manchester City for 76 million euros, and there he again meets someone who will change his life. Before Kevin's transfer to City, many considered it a mistake after his failure at Chelsea. However, Pep Guardiola decided to reassure him. "Kevin, listen, you can easily be among the top 5 players in the world." If previously Kevin had encountered authoritarian coaches, this approach was something for him, something new. He wanted to prove that Pep was right, and with each subsequent season, he successfully managed to do that. In the second season under Pep's guidance, Kevin made 16 assists and helped City become the first club in history to reach 100 points in the Premier League. Over the years, his game kept improving. After several unsuccessful tournaments with Belgium, Kevin finally managed to achieve his dream and achieve success with the national team. He played alongside Eden Hazard in the most successful tournament in Belgium's history, and even scored the winning goal against Brazil in the World Cup quarter-finals. As a result, the team reached the bronze medals, which is undoubtedly an amazing achievement for such a small country. In the Ballon d'Or ranking, he entered the top 10 best players in the world. The year 2019 was challenging for him. Injuries became more frequent. He even had a knee ligament tear, forcing him to move on crutches. Once he called his wife in tears and said, "I won't even be able to dress myself." As soon as he got back in shape, he didn't leave everything behind. The 2021 to 2022 season became the most significant in his career. Manchester City wins the treble, steamrolling over all the top European clubs, securing its title as one of the best clubs in history. Soccer. After reaching his peak, Kevin faced injuries again. There were so many that it was as if he lost a couple of seasons. The Belgian missed 54 matches in recent years, which couldn't help but affect his form. Now we are witnessing a sharp decline in the level of Kevin's play, who very recently was one of the best midfielders in the world, and right now he doesn't even come on as a substitute. It's sad to see this, but as we know, everything has its end. Kevin gave us many bright moments and highlights that will forever remain in our memory and in football history. And Kevin himself will always be considered one